I'm Annika. I'm working as a Director of People and Organisational Development at About You, based in Hamburg, Germany. In my role, I'm taking care of everything which is people-related, so recruiting, HR business partnering, HR operations, employee experience, so the whole bunch lying within a classical people and HR function. About You is one of the fastest growing e-commerce companies within Europe. We have a tremendous growth history behind us, and in June this year we had our very big milestone. We just IPO'd. We're currently a bit more than 1,200 people already. We have a very diverse company culture when it comes to backgrounds, so from having super creative people working within brand and design towards having techies with working as back-end developers for us. So very diverse from backgrounds, but also very diverse when it comes to nationalities. I think around 70 nationalities are currently working with us. Prior to using Personio, I think similar to a lot of fast-growing companies, there comes the status when you have outgrown your established processes that have worked well for quite a while, and then you're entering hypergrowth mode, and then you see that the processes are not working that well anymore. But sometimes there's simply no time to adjust them very well. That also was the case at About You. There we had, I think, different challenges that we saw with the old system, an interface which was not so intuitive for employees, and therefore a lack of self-service for employees, a lot of manual effort going on within the HR teams. Then we also saw that we had problems accessing our data, that data were inaccurate, had different labels on it, different sources, because they were also built a lot from manual perspective, not able to provide us that, let's say, data perspective or the data-driven decision-making that we also would like to pursue in HR, as we are a very data-driven company coming from an e-commerce background. That was the status quo that we needed to challenge and then to target with implementing a new system. We needed a system which has an interface for our users, which is appealing, of course, so to make users like going into the system. So we needed something young and fresh, which could match those from an interface perspective, but also something that helped us within HR scale our processes. One of our biggest pain points have been integration so far. It's very important for us to push our culture, to live our cultural values. We already had some specialized systems in place like Beek or like LeapSum, but we did not have one single source of truth when it came to data, so no interfaces between the systems, so just like a very fragmented system landscape. This is something which we now have definitely solved by Personio offering us interfaces to our general tools like Beek and like LeapSum. Another piece which we are currently looking into is everything around the onboarding process. Being in hypergrowth, we have a lot of new hires every month joining us, and we would like to have a seamless onboarding approach. This is not just something where HR has a stake in, but this is also our workplace team, our IT team. There is a lot of manual effort at the moment going back and forth, and this is also something that we could already solve with a new tool, where also our vision is to solve things like that even further, for example, using Jira integrations to automate creating new starter tickets and so on. When it comes to reporting, Personio is now our one single source of truth when it comes to all our data. We're also currently insourcing our payroll using the newly built Datev integration. One goal of us when looking at the workflow automation is to become faster, to become more automated, and also to reduce our errors, which is especially important when it comes to payroll. This is something that we're looking very much forward to have this integration going live. We've been working very close with the CSM together when implementing the system, and I think one main advantage is that when implementing a system now, there is, I think, one shot then to get it right and to have the system set up correctly, but also when you have the chance to build a tool up or a new system for the company from scratch, you also should challenge every single process in there. So is there any chance on making this better, more efficient? Where is more automation potential? I really like the usability of Personio. What I also really appreciate is the marketplace approach, that there is also guidance for us around which different also young and cool and upcoming platforms we can use for more specialized processes within HR, so like performance management, pulse surveys, but there are also a lot of more to come, so I'm sure. And this is a guidance that I really appreciate.